Hello students, let us see superposition theorem. Already we have seen why we need to go for superposition theorem and what is the advantage of a superposition theorem. So in this class we are going to see in detail of your superposition theorem and what are the limitations of superposition theorem and why it is not applicable for power calculations. So a circuit with more than one energy or power supply units. When we use superposition theorem, a circuit which contains more than one energy or power supply units. Here you are having, in the figure you are having some circuits. In that circuits, here you are having two batteries and here you are having two supplies. So one is supplying a DC voltage and this is called as an AC. And at the output, if for any circuit, if I apply more than one source, the response is summation of a responses caused by individual sources acting alone. That is your superposition theorem. So what are the applications of superposition theorem? We use superposition theorem in power management system. So here you are having a power from diesel generator, this is from the battery and this is from the wind and this is from solar cells, and it is given to load. Load is nothing but your industries or our homes. So here you are having a electronic grid, energy storage, microgrid, power distribution, power electronics interfaces. So where multiple sources involvement is there, then we use superposition theorem. So a system with more than one energy sources. So what is the superposition theorem? What is the statement of superposition theorem? The principle of superposition theorem is, the superposition theorem helps us to analyze a linear circuit with more than one independent source. More than one independent source. The superposition theorem is applicable for linear bilateral networks. It is used to determine the value of some circuit variable, that is voltage across or current through the particular impedance. Already we have seen what is linear and what is bilateral in the introduction class itself. It is applied by calculating the contribution of each independent source separately. The output of a circuit is determined by summing the individual responses of each independent source. The idea of superposition theorem depends on the linearity property, or specifically we say that additivity property. So the superposition theorem rests on linearity property. What is a linearity property or additive property? The response to a sum of inputs is the sum of responses to each input applied separately. For example, here we are applying X input, X1A, X2A, X3A, X4A. We are getting YA is the output. So if I apply X input, if I apply X A input, here you are getting YA. If I apply XB input, you will get output is YB. The response to a sum of inputs, if I apply XA, and if I apply XB at the same time, so the response to a sum of inputs, here it is a sum of inputs, is the sum of responses to each input applied separately. So here you are applying 2 inputs at a time. The response should be sum of responses obtained with individual inputs applied. Here you are getting YA is, it is a response obtained by applying XA, it is a response obtained applying YB. So the total response is equal to sum of individual response. If I consider this is a Y, the total response is equal to sum of individual responses linearity property or additive property. Example, Ohm's law. For example, let us consider a circuit. Let us consider a circuit. So for this, this is your R1 and the current is flowing through this is I1 and the voltage is V1. Let us consider voltage is V1, which is equal to I1 into let us consider this is a resistance R, I1 into R. Let us consider a same resistance R. Let us apply second input I2, then the response becomes V2 is equal to I2 into R. Now if I apply both the inputs I1 and I2, if the current flowing through the resistor R is, if both the current flows, if I1 current flows, then I1 into R, if I2 current flows, I2 into R. If both currents are flowing at the same time, then the response is equal to V is equal to the current is I1 plus I2, I1 plus I2 into the resistance is R. If I consider V equal to I1 R plus I2 R. But what is this I1 R? This is your V1 and I2 R is V2. Now tell me, the total response is equal to sum of individual responses obtained by considering its input. So V equal to V1 plus V2. This is called as additive property. The statement of superposition theorem. Remember this one. This is very important. The superposition theorem is in any linear bilateral network, containing two, or you can consider one or more independent sources, that may be a voltage. So in any linear bilateral network containing more than one source, that is two or more independent sources, voltage and or current sources, the resultant current or voltage in any branch is the algebraic sum of the currents or voltages caused by each independent source, with all other independent sources are turned off. It is nothing but they are replaced with their internal resistance. For example, this is a circuit. So what is the statement for superposition theorem? In any linear bilateral network with two or more independent sources, the response across any element is equal to sum of individual responses obtained by considering only one source at a time. And while considering single source, other sources are replaced with their internal resistance. Already we have seen for voltage source, what is the internal resistance? The internal resistance is for voltage source, for ideal voltage source, for ideal voltage source, internal resistance, that is Rs equal to 0, and for ideal current source, the internal resistance is Rs equal to infinite. So this Rs equal to 0, how it is indicated? A simple with line. Rs equal to 0 is nothing but simple line. Rs equal to infinity, that is indicated with a open line. This is short circuit line and this is open circuit line. It means that whenever if you want to make, or if you want to replace a voltage source, we have to replace with a short line, and if you want to replace a current source, we have to replace with a open line. Let us consider here you are having a two voltage sources. According to the superposition theorem, we have to consider only one source at a time. So here we are considering, in this case, the first case, we are considering V1. Then we are making this V2 as a short circuit, that is replaced with their internal resistance. Next, in the second case, this is a step 1. In the step 1, what you have to do? You have to consider only one source and other sources are replaced with their internal resistances. Here you are having two sources, two are belongs to voltage sources only. That's why the V2 is replaced with short line. And in the step 2, we are considering V2 and we are replacing V1 with a short line. And the response obtained in step 1 and response obtained in step 2 are added to get the response across an LA element with respect to the two voltage sources. If I have two current sources, so in a circuit you can have two voltage sources or two current sources or one voltage source, one current source. So like combination, n number of combinations you can have. So here you are considering two current sources. How the current sources are replaced? So while considering a current source, the other current will be replaced with open line.
This is a replacement. Like here you will get this is a step 1. In step 2, here we are considering I2, then I1 is replaced with a open line. This is Rs equal to infinite. So the superposition theorem for two independent sources, either voltage or current sources. I have seen one also, you have to consider. So things to keep in mind while applying a superposition theorem. To turn off a voltage source, replace by its internal resistance for non-ideal source, short circuit for ideal source. So for ideal source, why we need to short circuit? For ideal source, Rs equal to 0, and for if you consider a practical source, that is of non-ideal source, we have to replace with their internal resistance. And turn off a current source, replace by its internal resistance for non-ideal source, open circuit for ideal source, because for ideal source R is equal to infinite. Dependent sources. Remember this one. If you have in a circuit dependent sources also. So dependent sources should not be zeroed. Dependent sources should not be zeroed. They remain the same for every particular solution with each independent source. For example, let us consider one example. If I have a voltage source, and that is connected to one circuit, if I have one more voltage source, if I have a dependent source, here I am considering this is a voltage source, some K into voltage dependent voltage source. So this is your V1 and this is your V2. So while applying superposition theorem, what you have to consider only one source at a time. In step 1, replace V2. So consider V1. By considering V1, what happens? V2.
V2 is get shorted, and we should not make this independent dependent source to 0. We have to consider as same, that is K into Vs. So there is no any effect on these dependent sources. Remember this one. Similar to for current dependent sources also.
So that is your third point. So things to keep in mind while applying a superposition theorem. To turn off a voltage source, V equal to 0. If it is of ideal voltage source, here we are replacing with a short. So here if I want to replace, if I want to make V equal to 0, just replace with a small line or a wire. This is a short line. And to turn off current source, how will you turn off a current source? It means that how will you make I equal to 0? Just open that branch. If you short the branch, then V is 0. If you open the branch, then I is 0. So superposition theorem, steps to apply superposition theorem. What are the steps you need to follow? The step 1 is retain one source at a time in a circuit and replace all sources with their internal resistances. That's step 1. Then determine the response, current or voltage due to the single source acting alone using any circuit analysis. You may go like after replacing other sources with their internal resistance, and by considering one source at a time, then apply according to your convenient, according to your circuit, you can apply mesh analysis or node analysis or source transformation. That's why I said that mesh and node analysis are very important. For mesh and node, you need to know KVL and KCL. So the theorems always depend on your mesh and nodal analysis and some basics only. And repeat. So after finding the response due to first source, then repeat step 1. Again go with the second source. Again go with the third source. So it is repeated for n number of sources you are having. And finally what you have to do, here you will get, by considering one source at a time, you will get one response. By considering first source, you will get a response. By considering second source, you will get second response. By considering third source, you will get third response. After getting these 3 individual responses, just add these individual responses to get final response. So this is a way of finding total response. So find the total contribution by adding algebraically all the contributions due to all independent sources. So we'll see in the next class an example for superposition theorem. We are going to see this problem in the next class. Just see continuously. Thank you.